spoon, mag spoon. Solid judgment right there. Okay. Probably some more down. So as you can see, spoon fishing isn't just a Tennessee River kind of thing. And you know, guys have known that for years. And especially this mag spoon, you know, you don't want to be intimidated by it, by the size. It is a pretty Magnum bait. I mean, you can see I got one right here in the shattered glass pattern. It's a Ben Parker Nichols Magnum spoon, and it is like 3 ounces, I think. It's about 8.25 inches long. Comes with that Magnum Super Duty treble right there. It's a big bait, but when you start looking at like forage types, especially if you're dealing with places that have big gizzard shad, or maybe they have big like whiting or big chubs that kind of suspend in the lake, you know, it's not really too super huge. And in the end, you know, those bass got big mouths, and you will be awfully surprised about what they'll actually be able to fit inside those mouths and suck up. But especially if you're in an area, you know, down in Florida, we got some big gizzard shad. If you got a lake, an impoundment that's got some big shad in it, this is a killer bait, and don't let the size intimidate you. But because it is so big, you do need to make some tweaks on your equipment. What I was using in the video is basically I took my punching setup. You don't want like too stiff of a rod, and that's why my Powell Max 3D, it's the 806, is so great, because it has that slightly softer tip, but it's got enough backbone to really just wallop and kind of lift up on that blade. But you want that softer tip. Reel wise, this is a Corrado 200E7. Basically, it's equivalent to the new Shimano Chronarch. I run a 7:1, a high-speed gear ratio, because you want to be able to pick up that line really quick. But you really do want a heavy-duty reel. This isn't something for your cheaper low-end reels to be doing. You're putting a lot of strain on your equipment. Shimano Corrado, the I-Series, the Chronarch, the Core, just a heavy-duty performance reel. The rule I've used is if I'd flip mats with it or flip braid and lock down the drag, I can go ahead and toss this Magnum spoon on it. The other thing, and this is kind of a little detail that I've figured out, is line. I'm a big fan of Sunline FC Sniper, and I use it on a lot of my dragging applications, dragging brush piles, dragging football jigs, even cranking. But in this case, I wanted like a super duty, heavy, double duty kind of line. And that's when I go to the Trilene 100% fluorocarbon. It has a little wider diameter in comparison to the pound test rating. This is 25-pound test. But one little trick I've found is I want that heavier duty line, because the bait is so gigantic in Magnum, and it really does put some stress on the equipment. But the other thing is that slightly wider gauge in line diameter slows the fall of the spoon a little bit, and I'm not really fishing in current driven waters, so I don't got to worry about the bait getting down there and staying down there. So if I get a little softer flutter on the spoon because of that line diameter, I think I'm getting a little better action out of the bait. But that's my setup. It's a Powell 806 Max 3D, heavy duty, flipping kind of style reel, high speed 721, and 25-pound, 100% fluorocarbon from Trilene. And that's a solid setup. And like I said, don't be intimidated by the size of this bait. I've caught a bunch of like 1 to 2 pounders on it. I've also caught some big fish. It's not just something for the Tennessee River. It has applications well beyond. If I'm catching fish in Florida on this thing, I'm sure you can catch them by you. So jump on Monster Fishing and pick yourself up some Ben Parker Magnum spoons from Nichols, and then you got your rods and equipment here. Powell Max 3D, trilene 100% fluorocarbon, 25 pound, and get out there and start jerking some spoons, guys. Tight lines.